What's going on? Come on, come all, spontaneous views. I'm gonna talk about it's a touchy subject. I was honestly gonna do this at home today when I was at work, but I kind of got a little caught up with the work, But this is dealing with the situation that happened in Memphis. Rest in power to Tyre Nichols. And this is dealing with Jason Whitlock and his comments that he made about why black men in general are acting out. I'm trying to, let me just put this to rest. I can't relate to what he's saying at all. I'm pretty sure a lot of you may have seen it, or whoever views this video. Y'all had to forgive me too. I'm trying to block the sun, but I'm kind of parked in a weird area, but I'm just going to do the best with it. I'm gonna try not to be too lengthy with this. First, let me just say, right off the bat, let me just start from the beginning. You had a situation where 5 Memphis police officers stopped young man Tyre Nichols. He proceeded to abandon them, run away, and there's speculation about why he ran and so forth and so on. Of course, we don't know why he ran. We would never know that. Obviously, he's not here no more. My take on it is this. We have to... This is where critical thinking comes into play, right? And this is what's missing in our society a little bit. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying that some of the stuff that I hear is we're not really thinking about this in its totality. Let me just try to gather my thoughts here, because this is, I've been meaning to do this for a couple of days. I've just been kind of busy this weekend. So I'm trying to gather everything that I thought about saying in this blog here that I'm doing right now. So you had a situation where he was pulled up out of a car and basically beaten to death. There's speculation about one of the officers, Dimitri Haley, I forgot his name, that he was either married or had a girlfriend, and that Tyre Nichols, this is all alleged, that he was dating his ex. They both worked at FedEx. Now you want to have reports saying that that's false. Well, honestly, Tyre Nichols' father came out and said that was false. But again, if it doesn't come from the horse's mouth, I don't know who to believe. But the situation was obviously personal. It was a reason why Tyre Nichols ran away from those officers. And the fact that they was hiding their body cams, they did not know that camera across the street was videotaping them. Now, let me just speculate. I'm a young black man, right? So if I'm running away from the police officers, that means I'm running to safety. That means they had to know, or he had to know, for what I'm saying, he had to know that he was in danger. He had to know this. I'm going to get on Jason Whitlock in a minute. I'm just going to talk about the past video that everybody's been talking about. So let's just cut straight to the chase and make a long story short about the video. These officers were obviously charged with second-degree murder, which is rightfully so. And if you really think about it, they really should get first-degree murder. But I'm not into all of, what they should and should not get. The fact of the matter is they were wrong. My take on it is this had to be a situation where it was personal. Now, there's no way you're going to beat somebody to submission like that constantly for like 20 minutes. People are speculating that the length of the video. It was 4 different videos. Why did you have the need to keep beating this man? Some people were saying, oh, well, they wasn't in the video saying, oh, this is for my girl, or da-da-da. They don't have to say that. Why would they incriminate themselves like that? They have, again, they have body cams on. So even if the body cam is not visual to the people that's viewing it, it still has audio, which some of the audio was cut out. So we don't know what was being said on some of those body cams that they was talking about. The fact that after they beat this man, they proceeded to just have a chit chat and a powwow with each other instead of calling EMS. That's why they fired the EMS workers, because it took them 20 minutes to come to the scene. Well, you really can't blame them, because the police didn't call EMS till like 20 minutes after they beat this man. Then on one of the videos, he's proceeding to lean down because he's dying even though he died 3 days later, he's basically succumbed to his injuries on the scene. So they're basically telling him as he's leaning over about to fall, oh, sit up, sit up, sit up. What? Sit up? This man is barely conscious right now. I could not believe what I was seeing, and people trying to relate this to the Rodney King verdict. And let me just say this real quick. You can look at the act let me say this. You can look at the act of what happened as Rodney King, but those officers in that Rodney King beating that happened back in the early 90s, they were acquitted. So I can understand people trying to relate certain things, but those officers were acquitted. That's why you had the LA riots that happened. So we can kind of try to parallel it, but no, we can't. And in so many instances, because there was tragedy that happened even after the Rodney King verdict because of the acquittals that those officers got. But anyway, get back to this situation. Okay, so they were basically charged with second degree murder. Now people want to speculate, wow, what is the motive? But let's use critical thinking. If I'm Tyre Nichols and I'm running away from someone, that means one of these officers I know I had an issue with in the past, or I know something, or he either threatened me or something. One of the officers, the same guy, Dimitri Haley, I forgot, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I'm not sure, but at this point I don't care. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's only one of them named Demetrius. He had a incident with prior prison inmate about 5 years ago. A couple of them, this Scorpion unit that they brought up or made up, I want to say in 2021, they said. This guy had an incident with an inmate where he basically brutally beat this man and got off. And that's the problem. And it's not just in Memphis, it's in other police districts around the country. These police officers become invincible because they're able to beat up somebody and get rewarded. Like, he was a CO at the time. He got rewarded a police job after that. I'm not saying that act gave him the police job. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he had that incident on his record, on his jacket, and later on down the line, he became a police officer. That's a promotion. So just think about it. If you could do that kind of act to an inmate that's in prison and then get rewarded with a police job, you're going to go on the streets and feel invincible also. You're going to go out and do horrendous things to civilians and get away with it. And that's exactly what they were doing. I saw another blog last week where they had 3 guys that was from Memphis, from the south side of Memphis, in the trenches. They in the hood. And they talked about some of the officers that was on that Scorpion unit, how they terrorize people in the neighborhood, how they'll just walk up on you and just threaten you. Put a gun out to your head and just threaten you for no reason. You could be coming from the store. One of the dudes said they was coming from the store, walking home, and boom, got threatened. Said he had a pizza in his hand. He obviously coming home. He's walking with a pizza. What else is he doing? But anyway, I'm going to cut to the chase on this, on that. Once again, rest in peace, Tyre Nichols. Unfortunate situation, regardless of what the motive is. And let me just touch on that real quick before I go to Jason Whitlock. The motive, what they're saying is that he dated one of the police officers' ex. Some say wife, some say girlfriend. It doesn't matter, because what was being told is that after he got beat up on the scene that night, January 7th, he took a picture and sent it to her. And guess what? Guess what's so ironic about that whole triangle of Tyre Nichols, the officer, and the girl? Tyre Nichols died on January 10th of this month, well, last month. She put a post up on Twitter. I'm not sure if it was Twitter or Instagram, once a social media site, on January 12th, saying justice was served. I wish I had the picture that I could show y'all this. I forgot to save it. She probably deleted it by now. So he sent the picture after he beat her up on the 7th, that night of the 7th. Tyre Nichols died on the 10th. And then on the January 12th, she put a post up saying justice has been served. Now, you could take that any way you want. I don't know how you could take that. But the question I have is, what justice was served? Honestly, a man was within that 5-day span from the 7th to the 12th, a man was beaten, went to the hospital and died. And 2 days later, you said justice was served. That's a head scratcher right there. Now, let me just move on because I don't want to make this video too long. I don't even know how long I can even make a video, to be honest with you. I'm still in my beginning stages. But anyway, let's go to Jason Whitlock comments. Jason Whitlock had the nerve to come out his mouth after this tragedy happened to say that this is an example of single mothers, basically saying single mothers taking care of single black men. Baby mama culture, that's what he called it. He on CNN, I forgot the guy he was did an interview with, on CNN saying this. I have a question. What in the hell does single mothers have to do with raising or raising a child that might act out or run for? So what are you saying, that single mothers that's raising young black men don't know how to raise young black men, so they act out off emotion? Shit, I know people that had both parents in the house and they act off emotion, so that's not the case. Jason Whitlock was totally out of line when he said that. But again, that was probably clickbait. You got to understand, some of these bloggers and some of these people that do their commentation, what they'll do is they'll say certain things for clickbait. And that's exactly what that was. He knew exactly what kind of reaction he was going to get. It all stemmed from Sierra making a post about it. And guess what's so ironic about that whole ordeal that happened? It happened on the same day Tyre Nichols was buried. All this came out when Sierra had came back and came back at Jason Whitlock for his comments. All this happened on the same day Tyre Nichols was buried. That was a tragedy in itself. So not only are you getting backlash for what you're saying, this man can't even be laid to rest in peace, because now you're all over social media and Twitter getting bashed because of what you said, blaming it on single mothers. Single mothers ain't got nothing to do with a man getting in trouble from the police. Why you're not blaming the police officers' parents for not taking care of them or raising them in the right light to actually police the civilians that's in the neighborhood instead of terrorizing them? No, they're not doing that. They're taking what they went through probably in high school and in junior high school, and now they're bringing that to the police force. Jason Whitlock, you was totally out of line. I'm not going to waste that much time with you, but you was totally out of line. That was uncalled for. What happened to Tyre Nichols has nothing to do with baby mama culture. That's what you called it. Baby mama culture. You got to be kidding me. That was one of the most dumbest things I've heard since this year. So I've heard a lot of dumb stuff this year. That was one of them. You was totally out of line with that. That has nothing to do with single mothers. You have a system that's been in place for a long time, that doesn't benefit a man being in a house. If you tell a mother that's struggling, you got WIC programs, you got welfare programs that can't have a man in the house. So if a woman is in a position to where she can't work and she has multiple kids that have to take care of, and a man can't be in the house, unfortunately, she's going to have to take the route of being taken care of by the government. But that has nothing to do with her parenting skills or taking a child that's being raised by this young black woman, and now all of a sudden he's going to his actions is related to how she raised him. Somebody must have hurt you in the past, Jason, for real, because you be saying the dumbest shit. Honestly, that was some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. But anyway, I'm just going to cut this. This video is getting long. Like I said, I don't want to make it too short. I just want to put my 2 cents on what was going on and what he said. That was the dumbest. Come on, man. Single mothers don't have nothing to do with that. You have a system in place that hasn't benefited blacks in a long time. Very long time. And if you got the government assistance that's put in place for a man not to be in the house, then unfortunately a woman has to do what they have to do. It's unfortunate, but the system is put in place for a man not to be in the house. And it's not just blacks. It's white people that go through the same thing. For some reason, blacks are glorified. But anyway, man, that just touched me in a way today. Like, if I would have said this probably 2 days ago, I probably wouldn't have got everything that I wanted to get out. But I'm about to sign out. I got a few more videos coming. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on. And it's only the beginning of February. And this year is starting off rocky. Honestly. Real rocky stuff going on. But again, y'all already know. Come on, come on. Spontaneous views. It's always flat. I still haven't forgot about my flat earth vids. They coming, but, this spontaneous views. So I'm going to be a little bit more well-rounded this year with these videos. But y'all stay up.